Hey there, Isaac Osborne from BodyAlign Pro. This is a quick tour to get you familiar with all the new changes. Okay, so in the top portion underneath your name says cloud usage, and it shows a meter of how much storage you've used, and then also to the right hand side there, it shows how much of that data is being used and what your data limit is. And then if you click on My Plans, then you'll see your current plan. You can see here I'm on the free plan, and then it shows the Pro monthly, Pro yearly, the Enterprise monthly plan, and the Enterprise yearly plan are the two newest plans that we have. And what those plans are is a greater amount of storage, which we upped storage, by the way. The Pro plan, everyone's been automatically upgraded to 1 terabyte of storage, so that's twice as much storage that you had before. You had 500 gigabytes before, now it's 1 terabyte, and so it's way more storage. You have plenty of room here to throw as much data on as you possibly can so that your device isn't crowded with data. It's all in the cloud, secure, encrypted, all that good stuff. The Enterprise plan has 3 terabytes of data, and it allows you to add 2 additional users. Now, those users will not have admin access, so once you buy that, you're the admin. Those 2 users will be able to log in, create sessions, take photos on a completely different device, so that this is perfect for a clinic that has multiple people in the clinic. And right now we have the option to add additional 2 users, and we're coming out here soon with the ability to add up to 10 practitioners, so to speak. If you have any questions, email me on that, or you want to talk to me further about it, email me at support@bodyalignpro.com. Okay, back to this. So it's obviously the support tab, sign out. The lower portion, right, we see that we're on the menu, and if I tap on the patient list, then the patients come up, and if I tap on settings, then this allows us to store the data on the device for 5, 10 hours or 1 day. We allow that time so it's easier and faster to bring up data for you, but then it automatically wipes that, and then but everything is going to the cloud and back. It's constantly checking back and forth. The manual sync, if you tap on manual sync, then obviously everything's up to date for me. Passcode, change your password, privacy policy, and terms and conditions that we have. So back to the patients. You'll see here that I have these 2 patients starred. And if I go into the upper right hand corner with these little lines, we now have these filters. So if I want to see all my patients, I can either sort them by date updated. So these are the dates that I've updated these patients. So if I click on model 1, then and I add sessions, then that's what it'll come to the top. If I click on Mary Black here, then if I updated that with the new session or notes or whatever, it'll come to the top. So most of your stuff will be up to the top if you keep it on this tab. You also see here on this right hand side, this is patient active and inactive. So if you want to organize your patients from active or inactive, so I could go Arnold Schwartz here, make him inactive, and now he's not an active patient. It's been updated. And now I can go to the search filter and go, okay, who are all my inactive patients? And these are all my inactive patients here. So I have quite a few inactive patients. And if I want to go, okay, I want all active patients, then it will update to all my active patients. If I want to search by my favorites, which are the ones that have the orange star, so these are all my favorites. Say we add Mary Black as a favorite. Okay, Mary Black is now a favorite, and then I want to organize all my favorites. So there's all my favorites. So these are the people, you might want to star them for people that have signed the photo release form and so forth, or they're the ones that you want to use for your marketing. So we're going to use this patient, model 1, but before I get to that, if you swipe left, you want to edit the patient, get to the photo release form, hit edit. Invite is to the patient portal. Archive deletes this patient. Okay, so go back. And now we see that we have our photos on this upper tab. And down below, you see the little orange button. That little orange button it opens up the camera. And then you can take photos with the camera. Now we go back, and we also have compare and export. And then we have the videos, all your sessions with videos. all the notes. And you also notice that that little filter is at the top again. You can organize by recent, oldest, or archive. Now, if you want to compare a session, you tap on these little squares here on the left-hand side, and then you hit the compare button. That brings up the session to compare. Now, this is a model. These are not actual clinical results. I did have her pose for these photos. So now at the top you have the image, you have progress, and you have notes. So now if I hit the F button, which is front, left, back, right hand side, and then if I hit these two date buttons, this toggles me back and forth. It always organizes from the oldest session at the top to the newest consecutively. All right, so now if at the very bottom, if I hit the vertical line button, that adds a vertical line, and then I can, and it's a little touchy, but once you, there we go, you get on that line, then you can move it around. Now notice that I can move it around. Now I hit the horizontal line and I can move the horizontal line, but now I can't move the vertical line. I have to tap back on the vertical line button to be able to move the vertical line. So then you have your angle tool, you have your free draw, you have your measure angle tool, and then also if you look at that, it also has a magnifying glass on there so that I can put that dot right on her knee, right where I want it to be. And then changing the colors, and then once the colors changes, then also your line weight. So if I want to increase the size of the line, go back to the vertical line there, and I can get a much thicker line. All right, so this last button down here on the lower right is brand new. This button, it takes a screenshot of what you've drawn on here, and then it saves it in on the device itself so that you could use that for your marketing. You cannot use this button unless the photo release form is signed. Okay, so now one more thing. You can take that off and back on. So you can hide the toolbar and put it back on if you want. Now let's go to one of our newest features, and this progress tab. So this allows you to superimpose the photos like you couldn't do before. So this line at the very bottom, if you go swipe to the left, then it shows the before. If you swipe to the right, it shows the after. This only works with 2 sessions, comparing 2 sessions at a time. The system, this can compare up to 10 sessions. However, this only works with 2 sessions at a time. So then you can change the side of the body. You want to see either side. And this gives you an idea of a ghost of the previous session or a ghost of the after session so that you can see the before and after changes. Okay, now here's your session notes. These are the notes that you would take while right after you've taken a photo. All right, so now let's go back to videos, and same thing. You have your search, your organization, you have your video, add video, compare, export. So you tap on these 2 guys, and then it brings up a video of that session. So on the lower left-hand corner here, you have this little triangle, that's the play button. You hit play, it will just loop continuously until you stop it. So whatever the length of the video, which is 1 minute tops, it'll loop through here. And that is what it will do, is just keep looping. So now if I hit pause and I want to manually do it, like for instance, if I want to do slow motion, then I can go as slow as my finger goes. And so that's her end range of her squat right there. And then I can use some drawing tools and say, hey, what's the angle of that? Now, if I want to see the after video, I tap on that button, and then you'll see this. If you've placed the person in the same spot, then when I scroll here, okay, we can see that her squat range of motion changed, and then I could add maybe a different color. And I could go, okay, she changed that much. All right, so if you want to see both videos at the same time, this button in the upper right-hand corner with the 2 boxes next to each other allows you to change it to stacking them up. Now, you can move this up and down. So if you want to be zoomed in or zoom in even further and zoom on a specific body part, you can. You can also zoom out so you can see the entire thing. So just pinch and zoom. We added this because in the other version, it was just locked in those two side by sides. So now you can pinch and zoom. So this pinch and zoom is great so that you can actually take, let's keep her right there. We'll hit this link button, which is right underneath the other button. And what that does is it moves both of them at the same time while you scroll or you press the play button. So I want to do this and I want to see her range of motion slowly in this position and compare the two, what she's doing with her pelvis from before and after, and then you can draw all over this. And again, it has this on the lower right hand corner, it has this screenshot button. All right, so that is the video compare. We also added this superimposed video, which does the same thing, where I can scroll one at a time. This is really only going to work so well if you're lining people up in the exact same spot. I'll be sending some videos out later on properly line people up and taking photos and range of motion testing and so forth. So we can do either video at the same time, and you can see here that I can again go back and forth. If that's our end range of our squat there, and that's our end range of the before, so we see it for the before and then we see it for the after. So we can see changes, and it was pretty interesting. I saw some things with a client of mine that I've never seen before with this feature, and I'm really excited for you guys to play with it. Again, upper right, the notes tab. Again, that's when you add the session. If you want specific notes about the session or the photo that you took or the video that you took, that's where you would add it. And we go back to this. This is your clinical notes tab on the upper right here, and then you can compare those clinical notes, or the orange button at the lower right. That is what adds a new note. We hit compare, and then you see the date. And again, it organizes the most recent date at the very bottom, so you can just look from the top down to compare your notes of, especially if you're doing SOAP notes. That's your notes. That's a quick overview of the entire app. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Email me at support@bodylinepro.com. Thank you.